So there is that. Oh, you don't suppose. So it's having me go back to Impa.
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so I guess I am just looking around the thing. Okay, I think we found the spot. Yeah, blow that horn. Oh, no. Screw this. Let's hop into whatever the heck this is going to be. I guess that Talus is just gonna sit and wait while I do whatever this is. No idea what this is. A tear, a drop, water, a heart. A portal. Oh, it really is.
What? Oh, dear. Where am I? We didn't mean to startle you. I'm sorry. It's okay. My name is Sonia.
And could we ask what your name is?
I am the daughter of King Rome of Hyrule, Zelda.
What an unexpected answer. We are the king and queen who founded Hyrule, after all. Or at least we were the last time I checked.
You two founded Hyrule? And you're the king?
My name is Rauru, King Rauru of Hyrule.
King Rauru? And Queen Sonia? But that must mean...
She's back in time then. Okay. Memories. Oh, hi, you're here now. I expected to have to fly back over to her, but no.
Oh.
Hi, Stains. Wow, your message actually appeared on chat. Oh, that's right, I was finding a Talus. Or rather, I was dying to a Talus. I just don't really care enough. Yeah, so I have an idea of what that was all about. However, time travel, it certainly seems like time travel. So this should all be territory I've covered. Yeah. Well, yeah. I Oh, wow, it even, like, marked it. Oh, you have to be zoomed out. Yeah. Interesting. Everything west of this river, I've seen nothing of. So I'm kind of thinking about going southwest and maybe working my way west, or maybe south or southeast and then working my way north. I do have a thing marked there. Yeah. Hey, it's your boy, Addison on Korok Abuse. I've seen the occasional questionable things that are being done, and I won't be doing any of it. How is this gonna work? This is a very different structure of a sign. That's not gonna work. I don't suppose. I actually would imagine that might work. That joystick flick is insanity. I'm being careful and Link still flips. It's insane. Alright, let's see if this works. Oh my god, it's motionless. Sweet. Love how it says, how is he standing? Uh-huh. You could see how it's standing, you know. Yeah. Okay, what do you give me? Money. Oh, I broke 1,000. Same thing, except I think a little bit weaker. Aren't those usually 5 hearts? I could be misremembering. It's pretty good. You know, it definitely does not hold a light to the older Zeldas, but you know, it is a very different kind of game. I will say it does not feel like I'm playing Zelda. This does not feel at all like a Zelda game. So like, if you were to ask me, do I think it's a good Zelda game? I'd say no. It's a good game, though. Okay. That's not right. What is that? What am I looking at here? Yeah, I will always prefer the older games to something like this. Like, without even thinking about it. I don't know if I would... How deep is that? Yeah, it's kind of deep. Oh, that's not deep at all. Like, I do plan on playing this to completion, but probably won't ever, like, return to it. Unless I have a very good reason to do so. Give me something now. Whoops, I didn't actually mean to go that fast. Oh well, I'm sorry. Insects, okay. Oh, we're going through all that right now. Alright. Yeah, I'd imagine Breath of the Wild is identical. Yes, your crash course. Okay. Well, yeah, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. It seems like a really good game. I think you put it in a good way, in its own right. You know, it's a good game, you know. But, like, Link to the Past, like, even Ocarina of Time with its issues, like, those are what quite literally invented Zelda. So if you know, like, this is a modern interpretation, a modern implementation of that formula, but obviously quite different. So, you know, from that perspective, it's a good game, but not necessarily a great Zelda. Like, I would be honest, I would would sooner compare this to Skyrim, which is what I've been doing with Breath of the Wild since that came out, than I would a Zelda game. And I would still, having now actually played it, because before I would always say that just based on how it seemed, but now that I've actually played this, I maintain that stance that this is essentially, it's more or less Skyrim, but with a Zelda, with Zelda, but actually there's not as much that you can do, kind of. I mean, there's a lot you can do in Zelda, or in Skyrim, like a ton. Good about this game too, it's too sandbox to be Zelda. Yeah, I think that's another good point. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's a good game, but it's not a good Zelda. That this is Zelda NES but modern? No, that is 100% not the case. Exhibit A. In the original Zelda, you could go just 5 screens away from wherever you are and face different enemies and be in a different environment. This, where that may be true, is just grossly expanded. Meaning, like, instead of 5 screens taking you, like, 2 minutes, or, like, a minute in the original Zelda, it's like, if I want to go to a different environment right now, I need to run or ride a horse for probably, like, 10 minutes. There's just too much to this game to be... This game is the world is too big to be compared. The original Zelda was really good because its size was, like, perfect. It wasn't too big, it wasn't too small. Basil. It's a really nice herb. Okay, that's pretty generic. No. Alright. Don't get cooked in a stew. Basil is typically used. Also, the combat. Wow. Actually, no. That's a really interesting thought. You know, I'm out of the map. Whoops. What's an interesting thought is one of my issues with the combat is the inability to move when attacking. The original Zelda was like that, actually. I mean, this is a 3D title, so that alone makes the I guess opinion on that quite different. Yeah, exactly. Insert word Oblin. Exactly. I can't tell you how many times I've commented on that. Everything's a blin. And Moosh jumped on stream and he said something to that effect, where everything's just a blin. Now, I'm sure, like, the mountains probably have something different. I have seen Octoroks. I have seen Wizropes. But, like, a couple. How many blins have I seen? Even the undead enemies. The Stalfos are basically Stalfoblins. They're not actually Stalfos. Like, I wish the Stalfos in this game were Stalfos. Skeletons that perhaps shot swords at you. You know, that would be really cool as an enemy, a real challenge, and unique. And why are there so many donuts? God, so many just existing donuts around here. But yeah, it's almost like what happened is they had like a really good setup. And I'm talking like back to Breath of the Wild. Because I heard that this was supposed to be a mod, but just got too big and just ended up becoming its own game. And this is basically Breath of the Wild, from what I've heard. Can you not climb? It's like they had a really good concept, and, you know, at some point they wanted a bigger world. And at some later point, the world just got so big that they're just like, hey, there's like 10 minutes of walking in this direction where there's nothing happening. Yeah, throw in some moblin bokoblin camps. You know, that's kind of what it felt like happened. It felt like the world is just too big. I feel like if the world was slightly smaller, it would be much less of a problem. Yeah, that's a good point too. The whole concept of like weapons having durability and breaking after 30 seconds, like it makes they set themselves up in an unwinnable way. Okay, cool. Where you have all these things that you can do, which result in some reward that is something that either you can just find anywhere else for much less effort, Or it's just straight up not worth it because it's not gonna last. And it's unfortunate. That thing out there is floating. Oh God. Alright. Where am I? Okay, so I am following the map, which is good. And you know, it is also kind of funny that I came into this after somewhat recently, finishing Elden Ring, which for those of you watching the videos, you know, there's still a lot left to release, but you know, I finished that a couple of months ago, and like that game just handled it all so much better. You know, I mean, they kind of did the same thing where you had a lot of the same enemies. But like they added a lot to it, you know, like you'd have the same enemy, but you'd give them like different things that they could do. And it was very cool. This is a mistake. I'm not even gonna try. Not worth it. Well, I mean, and that's the thing to do. That's Zelda in general. You know, in previous Zelda games, you'd get a sword, and it's a milestone. Getting new equipment in the previous Zeldas was a milestone. It was, you know, you would enter a dungeon knowing that your reward is going to be some piece of equipment that is unique, has unique mechanics, has unique abilities against enemies. And will basically change the course of the future of the game. Change the course of the game. In this, there's, you know, those peppers are probably more valuable than many of my weapons. I do see what it is. Well, what is this shape? Okay. Hmm. Alright, Link tries desperately to push everything in his face, except the things I want him to push. That's great. Can you please insert yourself? There we go. Did right. Yeah. Making a traditional setup open world. Yeah, I agree. Well, and it gets even more frustrating when you have a lot of people that haven't necessarily done a lot of like open world games, and then they hear the hype of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and then they start playing it, and then they say like, Tears of the Kingdom redefined gaming with this whole new open world aspect, and it's like, what? Defined gaming, defined open world? I have heard that so many. So I definitely don't follow the internet like I used to in college because it's infuriating. People act like, and this happened with Elden Ring too. I'm gonna be honest. This happened with Elden Ring too. People acted like Elden Ring redefined gaming with its new open world aspect. Okay, what about Skyrim? What about Oblivion? There's so many old open world games that actually defined the genre in a way that was just amazing. Now, Elden Ring was a very special case because they combined their own genre, so to speak, of Dark Souls with open world. Now, that was fantastic. They basically created a subgenre. Oh, where'd he go? He's certainly not on the mountain. A new genre which combines their gameplay style of like Dark Souls and whatnot with open world. That is true. But none of them defined open world, and they're certainly not the best, and it gets exhausting. People also like to overreact. They're so quick to throw out best or worst game when it's like the game's good. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's a good game. I'm just gonna play it and have fun. Like, you'll never see me on the channel come out with a video saying, "Holy crap, guys! Your life has not begun yet because you've never played this." Like, holy crap, I died when I started playing this and was reborn. Like, there's none of that. Like, I have my favorite games. There's constantly new games that I'm playing that are, you know, pushing themselves to the top of that list. But, you know, like, and you can never really say any particular... What? You're just carrying a crate. You can't really say any particular game is the best game because there's just so much variety of games. Like, even within Metroid, you know, like, yeah, you can compare a lot of the Metroid games, but like Super Metroid is so much different than the other Metroids that it's hard to compare them, really, from just a base mechanical point of view. Benny, I've already talked to a Benny. I mean, I guess it could theoretically still be the same person. Ooh. Oh, she said still. So, yeah, it is actually the same person. And it's actually funny how this game takes a lot of aspects from Skyrim. Just with the random... Like, this exact encounter. If you play Skyrim, you cannot go 10 minutes in the wilderness without seeing some random thing that's just happening. You know? That's exactly what this is doing. I don't... screw it. You know what? Great. There we go. Can I do something with you? Can I hit you? What is this? Oh, I'm stupid. Whoa. That went very high. New arm abilities I'd sacrifice for hookshot. Ancient blade. 50. Oh, so I just get one ultra powerful arrow. Alright. Yeah, I mean, like, these powers are cool. I didn't know I can get to the map that way. I don't know why I would, though, when I could just press one button. Anyway, yeah, that's a good point. I like having an inventory. I like having, like, a set of weapons and such. At this point, when I see those camps, all I'm interested in is the arrows. All right. I like how this pillar, much like things I've climbed in the past, is only slippery when you're close enough to the top where you can get on it. I don't know how I was able to do that. I was not ready. Oh, that's fun. I hit the wrong button. Can I please... Alright. I will say, though, the shrines are fun. The shrines are pretty fun. I just fear that after doing 120 or whatever there are, it's gonna get a little repetitive. This also looks like it might get up, start walking, and stomp on me.